You have 4 now, Alyssa.
Yep, I just saw that. Well, Kathy and the dog.
That's all right. No. Just closing the door. Now, a lot of people are muted. You're muted. You're muted. Recky's muted. Joyce is muted. Lyle's muted.
Not anymore.
Okay.
There we go. Okay, so let's call the meeting to order at 4:01. And let's see, can I get a motion to approve the agenda for today? I know it's a special meeting, but if I can get a motion to approve the agenda, that'd be great.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. New business. So 1 out of 2 people are here. Steve Roby has kindly signed up to join the commission. So Steve, I know little of you, I apologize, but I know you're at Kent School, and what prompted you to come on the sewer commission? And did Kathy?
Ignorance, probably.
What?
Ignorance, probably.
Well, that works too. And what do you teach over at the school?
I teach physics.
Okay. Oh, well, great. Nice to have you here and welcome aboard.
Thank
And
you.
and then I can't see, the name is not coming through on the bottom right of my screen. Who is, oh, no. There we go. And it must be Barry, because all it's showing is Ari, and you're on mute. We need you to unmute. There you go.
Oh, now,
There you go. Well,
very
welcome.
good, thank you.
welcome
Sorry
to
for the
the
bad
Sewer
picture.
No, that's all right. None of them are ever great usually. Well, bless you.
Bless you.
Thanks.
And we just had heard from Steve for 2 seconds, and welcome to the sewer commission. And just curiosity, what made you decide to run for the position? Or they rope you into it?
A little of both.
All right. Well,
I'm spending more time, I've changed a life, changed jobs, so I'm around town more, and thought I'd give back a little bit.
good.
Plus, my wife kind of bugged me to doing it, so.
Well, I'll tell you, we're headed into some really interesting times, and there's a lot. I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but there is a lot ahead for the sewer commission to consider going forward and trying to do future planning and development down between the plant and provide services to the town. So I'm sure you've all heard about the development at 227 North Main Street, which is a development that is being considered by P&Z right now for 13 houses on the north end of town, right across from Cobble Lane. And if they do decide, if P&Z does pass it, then they will be taking on hooking up to the sewer and repairing the line from the Congregational Church up to that development, fixing the laterals that go off to, I know you guys know Amy, or Stephen at least knows Amy Voorhees, and fix those laterals and then hook up all those 13 houses, which will be good for the sewer commission. There's another project we've been trying to work on, getting Club Getaway to come online, because they've got a septic system that is in desperate need of repair. So we've been trying to work out a deal with them to come online rather than redo their whole septic system, which doesn't make sense. And then just future planning for growth in town, for growth at the school, things like that. Just so in anticipation of those projects coming in the future for the sewer commission, making sure that the plant has the necessary equipment to make it all happen and work the way it's supposed to. So that's kind of that's where we are right now at the sewer commission. And, financially, we're in pretty decent shape. you know, and we've got some haulers that come through with some regular, you know, that are through regularly. And as a result, we get some extra money from them to do other projects without having to dip into savings accounts. So at any rate, that's where we are right now at the sewer plant. So thank you for guys for coming on. You'll obviously learn more. I'm going to send you out Bart had done there was I forget the guy's name. He did a thing in town where he was trying to sound out different businesses to find out what they thought needs were for the town of Kent and what they thought, you know, areas of growth or things that the town needs and stuff. And Bart did this, you know, mini epistle, as Bart writes them, but it's really, it'll give you an overview of what happens down at the plant. It's really well done. And it's the basic premise of it is us planning to add in a new aeration tank at the sewer plant, which is definitely something in the range of like $1 million project. So that we're trying to provide and plan for. It's going to take us probably 2 years to make that come to fruition. But at any rate, I'm going to have Joyce forward this out to you because it's an interesting read, and I'm actually going to send it out to everybody on the commission because it just gives you a good overview of what we have, where we're going, and planning that needs to take place to make it all come together. So anyway, enough of me. I'm sorry, Vin isn't on the screen right now, but to welcome him, he's the new alternate that was elected. And C on the new business calendar is to appoint Rick as the vacant alternate, which would take him through 11/19/2025. And I'm assuming he wants to stay on the board since he's present on this screen right now. I know he's dying to stay with us. Anyway, so I guess I need a motion to approve that, or I need make a motion to appoint Rick as the alternate for the sewer commission.
So moved.
Ricky, you agree? Before we move on, just want to make sure. So may I get a motion to appoint him?
So moved.
It's got it.
Peter did.
Peter saying so moved. I'll
Okay.
second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Sorry, Rick, you're not getting away. Nice try. Anyway, so Ricky's will stay on as the alternate to 2025. Joyce sent out a thing on the schedule for upcoming meetings. They are always the second Tuesday of the month. They are at 4 p.m. And if, you know, plug those dates into your calendar. Sometimes they're shorter meetings than others. But in general, there's always a report from either me or not me, whatever. And, you know, a report from Lyle, who's the head of the sewer plant. We get a financial report from Barbara, and income revenue from Debbie, who's the tax collector. And Bart always gives us an engineer's report, and hopefully Bart will appear some point hopefully he's not in his car, which is always the worst way to see Bart because it always goes awry.
I spoke to him
Anyway.
yesterday. I don't think he's gonna be here.
Okay. All right.
He's gonna make it.
Okay, that's fine, because I don't think there's a whole lot for him to point out anyway. Okay, so I need to get a motion from someone to approve the new schedule meeting for 2022 for from January 11th through December 13th.
So moved.
Okay,
Second.
all in favor?
Mhm.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. On the new business, we have 31 South Maple Street. Bob Imdorf has a business right across from the Kent Greenhouse. And it's been a business up until now. He does furniture, and I like Amish furniture, I think.
Yeah.
I forget-
Yep.
Yeah, like, you know, early American furniture. Anyway, he is planning to move into the building, and he wants to change the use from commercial to residential. And I don't know, Joyce, does that interfere with, I mean, can he change it from one to another, even though he's still operating a business out of there? Or is he not operating his business out of there anymore?
No, I believe he is. I think it'll be a dual purpose.
Okay, so can
He's
he,
going through planning and zoning.
okay, so can he logically change his sewer rate from commercial to residential, even though he's operating a business there?
My assumption is it would be the resident that we're looking for
I mean,
the,
sorry, residential.
we're looking for the residential hookup fee.
Okay.
That's
Is
why
that-
we're,
Is that something that we have to wait on P and Z for though, or we can just?
I just wanted to put it out on the radar that it was gonna, it was in the works.
Okay. All right, well, why don't we wait to see, make sure he gets approved from P and Z?
Okay.
And then we can make that motion to change his application or change his usage from commercial to residential. Also in the package that went out,
Alyssa?
yeah.
He's not on the sewer line now.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, you're right. You're right. I apologize. You are absolutely right. So he would have to pay, he would have to get the application process. And now that we have the new application out there, Joyce, we can send that to him and he can start to fill it in on the data that we need from him.
Okay.
Sorry. Thank you for reminding me. I totally forgot that he wasn't on there. Okay, so at the last meeting, we had our attorney, who is Jeff Sankowitz, go through our applications and things like that. And what we want to do, but the goal has been for the last couple of weeks in trying to get this all lined up on our website, is when someone wants to hook up, come onto the sewer line, or there's somebody who's a hauler who needs an application to haul, septage to the sewer plant, things like that. The goal has been to try and get all the applications, cleaned up, and so that we can get actual facts of information that we need for the sewer commission, i.e. Laterals, where laterals are, and like who installs these things for the guys, so that we can, if there were to be a problem, then we can go back and trace it more easily, and then get a more accurate read on where all the sewer lines are for the town of Kent, and where all the manholes are and things like that. And then we can get a better history of the Kent sewer system. So we had Joyce sent out, we've sent out a couple more applications. One was for application of permit to discharge. Then we've had the water pollution at the Kent Sewer Commission for the septic haulers disposal registration and the sewer lateral inspection form. And I know on the application for permit to discharge, there was a question mark on certain fees for, like, for example, on private well and new account fees. And Bart had filled those in because I had asked him for the last meeting to at least populate the fields on these applications of what the fee structure is, because just to give you, Steve and Barry, a little bit of history, we've had like a lot of, believe it or not, there are a lot of people who just came on to the Kent sewer line, and we don't have that sort of history of, or fee structure that made it clear for them what they were going to be obligated to pay for. Because once they decide that they're going to go on the line, we have to have Bart, they need to submit drawings. Bart needs to inspect the drawings. It's a back and forth process. But at the moment, up until now, the sewer commission has been paying many of Bart's fees, which is not the way it's supposed to operate. The person going on the line is supposed to take on that expense. So anyway, so we're just trying to clarify all the rates and the costs so that that it seems to make sense for the sewer commission, so it's not out of pocket for us when new people want to come on the line. So I don't know if anybody's had a chance to look at these applications or not, but Joyce, did Darlene get some of the applications posted to the website?
Yes, the ones that are approved should be up and online.
Okay, so the application for permit to discharge should be up there, right? Or am I wrong? Joyce?
I'm sorry. No, we didn't approve that one at the last meeting.
Okay, so we just, okay, so that,
We need to approve these three so we can get them up on online.
okay. So I don't know if you, I mean, they're pretty basic on most of this, but it just, the sewer lateral one, it forces those new users to fill out this information so we know where the lines are. So when we have to do an inspection, we're not sitting there with a divining rod trying to find out where the sewer lines are and stuff. So may I get a motion to approve the one application for permit to discharge, the septic haulers disposal registration, and the sewer lateral inspection form?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Next on the list, we need to find Lyle an assistant. Desperately need to find Lyle an assistant. And I forget where I just had printed out this application file, and I've now can't find it. But anyway, Lyle took some time to put together a letter to me to say what he needed in an application from any candidate, and he sort of retuned it a little bit, and just to try and make it more specific, so someone doesn't think they're coming out just to mow a lawn and call it a day. So maybe Lyle, you can expand on that right now.
One of the things I changed is the application, the previous job description was for an assistant superintendent. And a lot of the duties listed on that was the same as my role here, which I'm not against, obviously, but there was less emphasis on, I call it wrenching, and working on things, and, because we do a lot of mowing, we do a lot of weed whacking, we do, a lot of stuff out in the garage and out on the grounds, and, and including the pump stations and stuff like that. And the old job description really didn't entail that. So the old job description also said that the candidate should have this Class 1 license already. And I changed that to must have at least a high school diploma and the willingness to obtain a Class 1 certification by the DEEP as an operator of a wastewater facility. One of the requirements on the old job description was knowledge of the functions and mechanics of a wastewater treatment equipment such as pumps, generators, gauges, valves, knowledge of method of practice and equipment and materials used in treatment of and disposal of sewage. And since I changed the description to not have as a requirement for the Class 1 license, I changed it to knowledge and function of mechanics and equipment as pumps, generators, gauges, valves, tractor loader, snow removal, and ground maintenance equipment. The ability to read simple meters and charts, ability to anticipate and troubleshoot equipment and operational problems. Also, be on call is, it was on the old description, but that also needs to be posted, for, an applicant. I recently interviewed somebody, he was all gung ho for the job, and then until he found out he had to be on call. And so that's just, out of the question. If you're going to work here, you need to be on call.
You know what, Lyle, you need to throw in there is continuing education, just to put
Right.
that it would be it's a requirement from the commission that he has to take like 2 classes a year on
Okay,
some area of water pollution.
I'll add that in.
Okay. Well, let me take a review of this and
Sure.
and whatchamacallit, let me see if we can put something out on Indeed, or, whatchamacallit, you never know who's out there looking,
You
Looking
put
for
on the
work.
Lakeville Journal,
could put it
Do we
Lakeville
bother
Journal.
that?
We could also put it on,
Waterbury.
what's it?
Well,
what's
30-minute transit time here.
Yeah,
Anything that's longer than that, people just don't stay. Like
yeah,
that Jesse Warner, he was an excellent employee, but he drove from Norfolk.
Hmm,
And the wage scales we have and him traveling the hour, it just wasn't cost effective. He got
Right.
married, he bought a house. So he took the knowledge that he gathered from me and he went to Torrington, which is a half an hour shorter, you know?
Right.
And, you know, that was a sad day, I have to say.
yeah,
no,
was
because
a
we've
good-
invested a lot of time into them too.
A lot of time, even the last kid, I invested a ton of time in that
Yeah.
kid. And, you know, he left to go sell health insurance out of his friend's parents' basement where he lives, you know. I have no words. I don't even want to get into it, I guess.
How long ago was it that we hired Wes? It's just,
Like
Um,
September?
yeah,
A year ago,
September,
September?
year ago.
Like a year ago, September, like in
Okay, so-
20.
lasted about a year. And I mean,
Well, he got sick this summer, which didn't help. And then he did this panic thing and, all of a
Yeah.
sudden, he was, I don't know,
he-
whatever.
He got a blood clot going into his spleen, into his liver, and the doctors were trying to chip away at it with blood thinners. So they put him on light duty. And, there's light duty and then there's, coming in and doing nothing,
right.
He sort of kind of melted towards the end.
Yeah, it's already, at the end, it was just, I don't know.
Well-
He was a good kid.
All right, so I will, and Bart has that, what is it, that magazine that he has that you can put a listing online or something like that? I
Yes,
forget.
him and I have been talking about the job description and whatnot and refinement. And I finished it this morning, sent
Okay.
that off in that email. And, I'll probably talk to him tomorrow morning, I would think.
Right.
What his thoughts were.
Okay, so this application is it's pretty standard, I guess, of just saying what our needs are and stuff. So
Sure.
ask him there's a magazine or some journal that he knows that we list, that's how we got Jesse to begin with. There was a couple, we had gotten a couple applicants from that journal.
Jesse, I'm friends with the superintendent from Norfolk, and he was the second choice for Norfolk. Jesse was,
Yeah,
and that's how we got in contact with Jesse.
okay, well, I'm sure there's somebody else. I know we'll find somebody. It's just, we need to put the hustle on it, that's all.
But like I said, that 30-minute radius is Kent. I don't think we should go over.
No, I
that.
know. I get people who call me for a job from Danbury and I'm like, you're not gonna come. Trust me,
Right.
you might come the first 3 days, but
Right.
it's gonna get real boring at nighttime when you leave here at 11 o'clock at night to drive home in dark.
As soon as it's snowing, especially if they come northern, from where, sometimes it's terrible me coming out of Goshen, but whatever,
No, I've reached out to a few people, but let's put out a couple of ads or something, see what we can maybe come up with and stuff.
Sure.
We'll get on that this week, definitely. Okay, let's see. Old business is 227 North Main Street, which is the development I spoke about earlier, but no Mr. Samansky, so, and it's in the hands of P and Z at the moment to see what their decision is going to be about it. So I would say we don't need to worry about it at the moment. Crew Design, we need to get them an explanation on one thing on the application and get them to fill it out because Crew Design wants to hook up to the sewer off of Maple Street Extension. They also asked to have to put in a second water line, which I told them they have to speak to Aquarian to get that permission to do it because there's a farm out and back and they didn't want to pay the same water rate fee for the farm and back as per crew. So I told them that's something that they have to go through Aquarian to do. Whatchamacallit, regulations and ordinances, we just got a final draft, the absolute final draft and signed by Darlene. So it is, they're said and done, and they're the regulations and ordinances to operate the sewer commission. So those are on the website right now. And if anybody, I know they're really scintillating to read, but you know, if you need a reference and stuff like that, that is definitely where to go to get any information you need. And that's pretty much it on that. Okay, number 5, approval of minutes from the October 12th meeting. May I get a motion
So
to
moved. So moved.
second?
Second.
All in favor?
Sewer.
Aye.
Aye. Then I need a motion to approve the special meeting of October 19th, which approved the regulations and things like that, that we wanted to get in place for the project at 227 North Main Street, so that they would have a clear definition of what their application process was going to be. So may I get a motion to approve the special meeting of 10/19?
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, I've talked enough, so I'm gonna let Lyle give his report from the sewer plant.
Hey, good afternoon.
Just so everybody knows, Lyle is in charge down at the sewer plant, and if either of you ever should choose to go down there to go and see how the whole place operates, please feel free, just to let you know.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome, Barry, Stephen.
Thank you.
Last month, we had 2.69 million gallons total flow through the plant. That's an 87,000 gallon per day average. 1 million of that total came from Kent School. Our average biological oxygen demand removal rate was 98%, and the total suspended solids removal rate was also 98%. And our average influent pH was 7.4. We had a plant upset requiring me to bring in New Milford Septic for assistance with cleaning the sludge off the clarifiers on 2 occasions. I also had Pupper Septic bring in a load of mixed liquor from the New Milford plant to reseed our plant. Process is recovering, but slowly. We must have had an influence of, you know, when it happens in the fall like this, I tend to believe that somebody must have dumped a pool or something to that effect, something on enough quantity to kill, have our bacteria die off. I talked to Joe Walensky about it, and he said that they didn't dump anything. They really had no work going on. So I don't know what came in, and unless you get a grab sample of, you know, when it's coming in, you really don't know, you know, because even like chlorine residual will go away as far as, you know, when it becomes noticeable. The Godwin pump we used for emptying the septic lagoon failed. Xylem company picked it up for service and dropped off a loaner. That just happened the other day, so that's, I don't have any details on what went wrong with it. It still runs and everything. It just, there's no suction. We had another breakdown on a lawnmower requiring it to be picked up by M&H Power Equipment. It's been repaired and returned. Generator at the plant, as well as the one on Judd Avenue, were both serviced by Kinsley Generator for the fall. Currently, we have 1 effluent bed is drying, 1 is cleaned out and ready, and 2 are currently in use. And that's what I have for the month.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
So Barbara's not here, which what she usually does is she presents to us, you know, the expenses for the month, gives us a checkbook of checks that she has issued, gives us the financial status of where the sewer commission stands, and then we approve the check journal for her. So we'll get that probably next month. Sometimes she does a double month, so it's not a big deal. Let's see, Debbie.
I really don't have much to report. The November bills have gone out and they seem to be coming back at their usual rate. I did have a little question about a magazine, newspaper article I read that referenced the sewer line going up to this new project on North Main. I'm charging those houses all along there with sewer charges and have been for years. So as far as I'm concerned, they're already hooked up. So I just wanted to clarify that.
No, they are hooked up. It's just that those laterals are in such terrible shape that what would happen is that if 227 Main does come into existence, those laterals would get repaired to make them be basically brand new. That's all.
Good.
So yes, they're
That's
hooked
good.
up.
So
Yeah, no,
I haven't been charging people for something they haven't been using.
no,
so-
correct. No, correct. You're
Okay,
all good.
that's all I have.
Okay. And unfortunately, no Bart to give us
Bart.
an overview of everything. So I didn't know if anybody had any questions or comments or what have you. I know it's the best way to spend your afternoon, but it's good. It keeps you in tune with what's going on in town as far as, public safety and water and things like that. And I don't know, I think it also tells you when there's a new business trying to open up and see, things that they need to accomplish before they're able to open up and stuff. And in the course of time, the sewer commission has made sure that every restaurant basically has a in-ground grease trap, that we're not permitting any under-the-counter grease traps anymore, because as I can speak from experience, no one cleans them. They're disgusting. So to keep them in the ground is definitely the way to go. So, I mean, the sewer commission has done a bunch of things over the course of time. And we've got more ahead to see how the town, just try and plan for future growth for the town. And that's pretty important stuff. So anyway, that's pretty much it. And
Ask a question, just how are those in-ground grease traps cleaned? I mean, is there a service for that? Obviously, there
Yeah.
must be. Service.
that's why years ago, we gave the restaurants a break on their usage fees because they have to have their grease traps cleaned out usually 3 times a year. And there's companies that come in and do it, 3 times. My guy comes 3 times a year to do it. So I know the other restaurants probably have it done the same amount of times as well. So that's why we had given them a break on their fees from the sewer commission because of taking on that added expense.
Right.
Okay.
So, all right. Well, thank you all. Welcome 2 new members.
Great.
Thank you.
Glad
Thank
you
you.
joined. And we'll see you next month.
Okay.
Very
Thank
good.
you guys very
Thanks.
much.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.